Hey guys, I'm back. It's been quite a journey. I know I said I wanted to get back to recording. Sorry, just my phone. I know I said I wanted to get back to recording regular content again, but life, good old life, still. Just give me another little gut check, and I gotta be honest, I'm getting real tired of them. So I rewatched my last video just to kind of see where things were when I recorded that, so that I could update you guys properly for those of you out there that still care, which I appreciate. Like I said, this is going to be more of a personal vlog, kind of get my thoughts out of my head kind of channel. Eventually, it'll get back to being a fitness channel once I get more of my shit together, like I was saying. um, but yeah, so that apartment I was living in, we moved out just because me and my one cousin couldn't afford it, and um, I don't make a ton of money, neither does he. So we didn't really know what to do because that date where we had to be out was coming up real fast, too fast. And a really nice change of events. If you guys know, if you are a past viewer myself, my dad and I have never been really super close. Like we never really got along that well. But nice and a really nice move on his part. He was like, hey, ever since your mom died and we got the renovations done, your mom's house has just been sitting there on the market and there's no one in there, and I'm sure that's why it's not selling because it doesn't look like anyone lives there. So why don't you and your cousin move in, and you don't have to pay me anything. Just save money while you're there, keep the house clean, watch it because there's no one there, and I won't charge you anything like that. So which was really nice of him because he's normally kind of like a stickler, but it was really nice. I think he's just he saw I was desperate. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm thinking like, okay, we're gonna move in here, and and to be fair, I was a little weirded about moving back in there because literally like that was the last time I saw my mom alive, and she wasn't in good shape. Like her health rapidly declined in that house, so there were some negative memories attached. Not to mention I grew up in that house and I didn't have the greatest childhood, so there were some weird connotations in that house, which I definitely felt while I was there. There was definitely a heaviness about the house, but that's neither here nor there. So we move in, and like I said, the house had been on the market for 4 years, 3.5 years. I'm sorry, and literally like little nibbles, no hits, really nothing. And I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe we'll get like a year out of this, and I can really save some money and be able to get my life back and kind of, get stuff back. We move in, not even like 3 or 4 months later, they're like, hey, we're probably gonna people are looking at this house and they're serious about buying. You gotta get out soon. And it was just like, god damn. Like it was already a great. Don't get me wrong. I was very, very, very grateful for the whole situation that I was actually able to get a place or like have a place to stay, like and not be homeless. But I was like, this isn't enough time. And then to top it all off too, my dad and my uncle come to me and say, hey, we're gonna be selling the company soon. You have to find a new job. So I'm just like it just like one blow after another, and it just sucked, man. It sucked so bad. And so pretty much, time went by, and I didn't have that much stuff there. Neither my cousin. We cleaned up all of our stuff, and I stayed around just to finalize the last house sale, and I was out of there like in February. And like I said, I didn't really get any too much time to save any money. I had some. I don't have a lot of friends still around here, so it's hard to find someone to room with or get to house with because they're not really around. And the ones that I still hang out with are moving pretty far away soon, like with that like outside of an hour, like far away from where I'll be now working. So but that's another thing I'll have to touch on because there was a huge period there. But so pretty much, uh, I moved into that house. I moved into my mom's house. When was it? Last July, 2017. I think. Oh my God, it's so blended. It's so blurred to me now. I think yeah, I moved into that house July 2017. The house was final. The house was bid on in like right around Christmas, and then by February I was out, and then by April, One Source was closed. Um, so this is kind of hard to talk about. It's really kind of fucking humiliating, but um, I don't make a ton of money. Like I really don't. I don't have like an extra. Like I was saving like a few bucks a month. Like just like some like I don't like. I'm not gonna get into super details because I don't want to throw everything in my life out there. But I was putting stuff away. Like I wasn't spending unnecessary money. I was really trying to like be on a budget. I was really trying to like as much as I could with how little I make. I was really trying hard for the first time in my life. Like really, really, really trying to do the right thing. So what happened in February was I moved out of my mom's house with nowhere to go. Couldn't move in with my aunt again because she's living in a smaller house and there's no room for me. No one else in my family I'm really comfortable enough to live with, and they're not offering because a lot of people in my family aren't. A lot of people in my family don't have that kind of room, and we get along fine. There's no bad blood or anything, but there's no room for me, and I don't want to burden them. And me and my dad, I'm not moving in with him. That just wasn't an option because I know how his girlfriend would get about it. I know how he would get about it, and it would not be good. It would end up being very bad. My sister ended up moving in with him, and she's just miserable every day because he's always up her ass, and so is she, and they make her life very uncomfortable because how some parents get like empty nest syndrome. My dad and his girlfriend, they want empty nest syndrome. Like they want a house with no one in it but them. They don't want to be bothered. Like they literally only want to see us on like birthdays and holidays, and that's it. They want nothing to do with us. Like when I turned 18, my sister turned 18, my dad pretty much was like, "Just go into the world and leave me now. Like go. I've had enough of you." Like when it comes to being a parent, it's like when it comes to being a parent, like the whole lifetime commitment to your kids. My dad's never felt that way really. But so I guess I keep skirting around it because I don't really want to say it, but I became homeless in February. I I won't say I'm not on the streets homeless. I'll put it that way. I moved into my dad's business. The one side was empty and unused, and they had an unused office, and I put an air mattress in there, and I've been doing my laundry at the local laundromat. I shower at the gym. Uh, like essentially homeless. Like essentially, like I live in an abandoned office, and I've been really trying to save money, but and then in April, doors closed on my dad's business. Now, my dad kept the building rented because we have a lot of equipment here, like a lot of specialized equipment that's been very hard to get rid of and sell. So, um, he kind of asked me to stay here and do like watch over the stuff while it's sold, and I said sure, okay, like as long as you pay me. So he paid me for a while, not too much. Again, he retired, so he wasn't making money, so he'd be paying me right out of his pocket, so he doesn't have a lot to throw around. But I've been living in this abandoned office for like since February, and it's now July, so I've been homeless since then. When my dad's business closed down, I hit the worst level of depression that I've ever had. Stuff with my mom really came down on me. I really kind of pulled away from my friends because I was really ashamed of like my whole situation, and I couldn't really go out or like go out and do fun because I don't have like I've been living like just like breadcrumb to breadcrumb with like the little bit of money my dad's been throwing at me to do like security, and watch the building. Um, but I've just become like a recluse pretty much up until recently. I'll get into that though, but from like I want to say from February or from not from February, I'm sorry. From April to like June, like my birthday, just life was its worst because I tried to get a new job. Like I started getting into job applications immediately, like immediately, because I knew I couldn't sit around and wait. Like what I'm doing for my dad would be fine at nights and stuff, but I needed like a job. So the place closed in April, and I started getting applications out there, and I really had to think about like what do I want to do. So you know what? I was like, I pretty much did sales with printing. I'll do sales. I'll do sales for someone else. Excuse me. So I found a little company near where I work, and I got into it. I was there for like a few months. It just wasn't for me. The sales world is way too like I'm with my depression and stuff. I can't be peppy and like, hey, how are you today? I'm great. Like I can't do that, and you need to do that in sales, and it's a super important skill. But that's just it's not me. I can't do that. So I asked for I handed in my 2 weeks there, and I told don't get me wrong, the place I worked was great. People were so cool there. Like they literally were like we had a great like I think Wednesdays was like team night, and we go out and play like football or like go play mini golf, and like we'd all go out to dinner afterwards. Like it was a cool place to work, but I just was failing there so hard, and I could kind of feel like stuff was getting put into place where it was like you're not gonna last very long here. And I was like, all right, well, before I get fired, I'll just hand in my 2 weeks and leave peacefully. So that happened from like, oh man, I worked there from like May till like the middle of June or like the beginning of June. So not even a few months. It was like a month and a week. That's how long I lasted there. But then that was when the depression really like just destroyed me. Like I had money in the bank from the like I made enough on the few paychecks there to like have a comfortable amount in the bank, so I wasn't completely broke, so I wasn't like scrambling for food or anything. But I was so depressed, like and the worst thing was too, like at that time, I think the day after I quit that job, the airbed I had it broke. And I didn't want to ask my dad for money to buy a new one. I didn't have the money myself to buy a new one, so I literally like there was some scattered like furniture stuff at the shop, and I still see I'm sitting on it right now. I don't want to show you anything because I'm so ashamed. Like I'm not going to show anything in this video besides me because it's just it's it's dehumanizing. Like I feel so gross that I don't want anyone else to see it, but I literally sleep. I have two pillows right next to me. I have a big cushion from an office chair. I have some padding underneath and then like two blankets. And that's what I sleep on every night. And I'm not out here trying to say like I have the worst in the world and like, oh, poor me. There's people in way worse situations, and trust me, I am very well aware of that. But I mean, it's so hard with like no support system or like very minimal support and having such fucking bad depression. That's literally like I'm homeless. And thank God in a week I'll have another job. Thank God. But sorry, I heard a noise outside. But it's just so hard to keep going. Like it's just so hard. Like I've never, as depressed as I've gotten stuff, suicide's one of those things that's never really like appealed to me. Like I've never even really considered it, even in my darkest days. But like now it's just like it's hard to get up in the morning just to find the reason to get out of my like this bed is not comfortable to sleep in. It feels terrible. It's not fun. But as terrible as it feels, like on the days when I wake up, I just want to like curl up in my crappy cushion and just like hide because I feel so utterly defeated. The gym and stuff has not happened in months. I can't even tell you the last time I've worked out. Like I just and like the food I can afford to eat, I buy a ton of shitty food at a time because it's cheap and I can afford it. So I'm I'm fat still, and like and also not to mention too because of how depressed I am, I'm not eating healthy. Like I'm eating crap because it's just a vicious cycle and it's so hard to break. Like I say it out loud and in my head I'm like you can just break that, but it's not that easy and people don't fucking get that. They just think you're like a slob and a lazy, entitled shit who's just like I don't want to work, look at me. Like no, I have no problem working. I worked my ass off for 9 years. Like even though it was for my family, this was not an easy job. I worked hard. I was a crucial part of this company and I got nothing. Now I have nothing. I have no home. I have no job, and it's terrible. Everything I was passionate about with working out and all the stuff I wanted to get done in that field, gone, gone. And not even because anyone's fault. It's gone because I let it leave and I didn't have the energy to chase it and grab it and make it happen. And it's fucking miserable living like this, and I hate it. But I'm hoping things are changing because recently I got security officer certified and I start my new job as a security officer this weekend or next Monday. So the pay is all right. It's not the greatest, but it's better than no money, and at least I'll have a job. And I have friends that live near the location where I'll be guarding, and I'm hoping I still have to talk to them. I have such bad anxiety about it. Like I don't know What to do if they say no? Because I can't live here anymore. This place is legit like closing. Like a new business is moving in. I can't be like the kid. I can't be the boy under the stairs like Harry Potter. I can't live here where there's another company here. But it's just life has been so terrible for me lately. And I know like this isn't an uplifting video. This isn't like you can change your like you can change your stars or like you can upgrade your situation. Look at me. This is like I want you to look at me and see how bad this is so you never let yourself get there. If anybody can take anything away from this, always have backup plans. Don't doubt hard work. And when you think something is pointless while you're doing it, think of how bad shit can go if you don't do it. Because I had no backup plans in place. I literally just got complacent at a job for my family, and I always just kind of assumed I'd have a place to live. And look, I have nothing now. I have no job. I've had no job and I have nowhere to live. And I took a lot of stuff for granted that I shouldn't have, and I'm at my lowest fucking point. I'm like, if this is the bottom, I'm 6 levels below that. I'm like in the crust of the fucking earth, cooking alive in the magma. But it's just, I'm hoping with this new job and stuff like that, I'm hoping that I can get some semblance of like, get stuff moving and get the ball rolling and finally get some momentum and just get out of this circle of shit. Because I've done my time and I want out. Wow, that was an unintentional Slipknot lyric. But man, it's been so rough. And I want to thank, like my sister. She'll never see this because she doesn't have a YouTube channel, but I love her to death. And like she can't, and like she's offered to give me money. I've always said no because she needs it too. She's not doing great, and she's always there. I could text her any hour, and she'll always calm me down or like relax me. And I have even the friends that are far away that I can't live with. They're great friends. They always like they've helped me with food. If there has been anything social that I've tried to get out of because I don't have money, they always offer to pay, and I have to pay them back somehow, and I'll find a way because I hate having debt over my head. I feel even more useless than I do now being homeless. And as far as YouTubers go, I really got to thank Boogie. Boogie2988. I hope I didn't. I'm not. I always when I remember names and stuff, I always mix up the numbers. But it's Boogie. Everyone should know who Boogie is. If you don't, look him up. He's a humongous YouTuber with a crazy life story. But I've been listening to a lot of his stuff lately about being homeless, and he got out of it, and he made a business for himself doing what he loves, and he's been through so much stuff with all of his childhood trauma, and like I could really relate to it because his issues with his mom and mine were with my mom. Obviously nowhere near the level of his, but it's the same. The principle of it, having like that strong, scary matriarchal figure in your life was I resonated with that. So I don't know if I'll ever see it, but Boogie, if you do see this, thank you, man. You saved me, man. You really did. Especially as another big dude, like it was just so easy to relate to you. And good God, you helped me, man. Good God, and I love you, bud. As much as one person can meet someone who's never met as a total stranger, I love you and thank you, man. But I'll close this up. I don't know when I'll upload again. I'll be honest with you guys. I have no fucking clue. But I'll try. At least I'll make some kind of effort to update you when things get better, because I know they will. There's no way they can't, especially the position I'm in. But thank you guys for staying subscribed. I really appreciate that. I've still stayed at like a decent number. I love every single one of you. Thank you. And all I can say to anyone out there going through hard times and stuff is like, it's so cliche, but you have to keep pushing. Because when you stop pushing, stuff accumulates on top of you, and then when you want to get moving again, it's harder to get moving. The more you move, the less crap will the more you move, the less crap will compile on top of you. And I let myself go stagnant, and I got buried, and now I'm finally starting to chip my way out, and I can see that little bit of light. I can see that little bit of light in the hole of the tunnel I've chiseled out. So that's really all I got to say, guys. Thank you so much. I love everybody. Be healthy, be happy, and hopefully the next time I talk to you guys, I'll be in a better mindset. Thank you, guys.